This is like 25 to 9 on a Friday morning, and you're belting that out. Top of the tower. Live. Good morning. How are we?
Great, thank you. And you?
I'm just going to introduce you. We've got Keith. You're doing the sort of drums on a weird speaker thing, Keith.
Yeah, it's just sort of a cajon type of thing, but
Folk box.
got to do what you've got to do.
A folk box.
Folk box
I'm
are
loving
great.
the folk box. We got John in the middle.
Hi, acoustic and vocals, baby.
Thank you very much, acoustic and vocals. And Skin, is that that's an electric guitar, I can see.
It's electrical, yes.
I love it. Now, I haven't seen you lads for like about 20 odd years.
Yes.
It's got to be the last time I think I saw you was on a barge in, can you remember that?
Oh, I don't know.
We were on a barge in the 90s, somewhere either on a Manchester canal or a Liverpool canal.
Was it a party or was it a radio
No, it
thing?
was. I was interviewing you.
Yeah,
It was the canoe club.
It was. I have no idea what it was. It's very misty. Those
Tyne
memories.
and Weir canoe
Well, it's the
club.
90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. Now come into the mic, John, a bit,
right,
because
sorry.
you need to be a little bit closer to the mic for me. Thank you. Now, tell me about this new album. This new album is Love Is the Call, right?
Yeah,
and I
that's
listened
right.
to it yesterday. It is amazing. I mean, this is like, how have you got that much energy and love, still coming through in the music? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's very kind of easy to say so, but firstly, I mean, I just realised that the band and myself, we needed to come back with something that was just a seminal record, And so that got me thinking about debut records and the energy and what they contain and why they're so effervescent and so full of life. And so that was the first thing I decided that we definitely needed as a band, And then I kind of was getting inspired and I was looking for that that kind of place that I had that I'd never really explored. That was, between the beginning where like all change and even the end when I was in the Lars, there was a little space that I'd kept fresh and I'd never really explored it and then it was just all about just digging that kind of earth and making sure that we were true to the kind of the vision and the identity of the album. And then, we've got the band together.
Yeah.
We went over to Spain with Youth, who's an amazing producer. And we kind of, what I think, have done the best performances as a band, individually and collectively. And I think we've just got this, it's just got an energy and an identity. And I'm very, very kind of happy about it. Not in the sense of a needy happiness, just kind of feel liberated because when you make the best record that you can at this present moment in time, there's often more you can kind of get hung up on. I mean, what's the use of me getting hung up on when I know this is the best record that we've made at this present moment, and also it's the record that Cast needed to make. This is the record that has been fizzing around my head for a long time, and this is the record that the band needed to make, and they've made it. And I think it says a lot to people who are going to hear it. I think they're going to love it. People, it's full of life. It's full of psychedelic pop, punky rhythms, great guitar playing. I mean, and I'm just waiting now for people to hear it and give it life themselves, because we're the artists. We've done our bit. We can talk to you about it. We can explain what things are about.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it comes down to the listener. The listener gives it life.
Yep.
So it's down to them now to just kind of take it where they need to go,
I was listening to it yesterday, John, and it's really interesting you're saying that. It sort of had that feel of, I just felt like I was back in that time, but also that I was an adult too, because you've sort of captured something that is so pure, but you've also brought it forward, and it's one of your best albums to date.
I'd say so. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it being the best thing we've done, which I'm not going to say this, but I'm certainly going to let other people say that. Because
well, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. It's one of the best things you have done in your career. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a triumph. It's your 7th studio album.
Yeah, I think it just kind of feels, as I've said, all the great things that I wanted to do are there. I think it's a nod to the past because rock and roll is not just from the 90s.
Nope.
It's a generational thing. It transcends all the decades. So I think we've captured that energy, as I said. But it's a very present album. The songs are very relevant today.
Completely.
And music matters to people and their lives, and fads come and fads go. But a song that you love stays with you forever. And, and I think the songs on this record that people are going to, they're going to interpret themselves and they're going to carry it away with them, and it'll be part of their lives. And that is a very special thing as an artist and as a band to be able to do that. But I do feel completely, I'm flying on enthusiasm about it, because I've got no regrets about the record.
I love that.
Where normally there's always one or two things I could have done different, or I could have done this, or the band could have done this, or we could have played a better solo, or we could have arranged it better. I feel it's complete, it's framed, and it's got the vision.
There's something about when an artist like literally comes from that space and tells the truth, and I think that's when the music becomes so pure, and people sort of like check into another level of this album, and I think that's what you've managed to do on this one.
Yeah, I feel. I've made, excuse me, quite a few records in my life, and I know the difference between the feelings of when you get it right, and as you said, like tuning in to that main artery of inspiration, a main artery of music, and it's a special place to be. It's a special place. You can't find it all the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be just kind of easy come, easy go. It's a very special moment, and I've written some great records. The band have performed some great records in our day, but this feels special, and I don't want to keep going on about it, because I'll just sound like another artist saying, "Oh, we've done something great." But I'll let other people do it. But it feels that we're in that vein. We found that beautiful place, and we're expressing it on a record. It doesn't get better than that as an artist.
Well, it doesn't. And the album is amazing. It's called Love is the Call. It is out today. Do yourselves a favour and get it now. Literally buy it now. You need to hear this record. So much love coming in for Cast playing at the Top of the Tower live. Paul in Dublin says, thank you so much for having Cast on. They are my musical heroes, and I want to wish them all the luck in the world with the new album. Paul, you got to download it today. Get it on board. Hi team, Cast are sounding better than ever. Loving hearing them. It takes me back to simpler times. Love them so much, John. So much love, guys.
Yeah, I mean, everything so far has been, it's been really positive in like people's comments on the albums or the songs that they'd heard leading up to the launch today. And it's beautiful. Like, what I can say is, like,
everyone loves you guys. We remember you with such fondness. You always wanted, you always sort of cheered us up with your songs, and were there, right from the Laws all the way through, So it's like coming back with this album and just knocking it out the ballpark. You're just like reminding us that we're not like these grown-up adults anymore. We're still inside. We're still there.
Well, we're ages inside, aren't we?
We completely
we just stay the same, and we just get older.
Yeah.
But inside there's that little beautiful essence of humanity and life that likes to sing and dance and, and daydream and make the world a better place in their own little hearts, So there's nothing, they're big, beautiful things that we should celebrate, and that's what the songs are kind of about.
I want to say you've got a very busy year, haven't you? This year it's very, very busy. I mean, it starts. You've got a record store tour starting. It starts today. It starts today, and then it goes all over the country. You're covering everywhere, and then you've got your own headline tour in March. I mean, and then not only that, I mean, as if that's not enough, then you're going on tour with Liam and John Squire.
Yeah, well, we're going with Liam Gallagher.
It's just Liam.
Yeah, he's doing Definitely Maybe.
Oh, you're doing the Definitely Maybe tour.
Yeah, because he's got 2 tours coming, hasn't he? He's got 2 tours, that's right. So we're doing the Definitely Maybe one, which is massive, I mean, Liam's, an iconic rock and roll singer and a great guy, and to be on that tour is amazing within itself. So to have a new album out would be massive for the band, but to have a new album out that sounds so fresh, and to get the best ticket in town on Liam's tour, they're 2 massive things we could really like kind of reconnect with people who maybe forgotten about the band but loved what we did, and a whole younger generation. So that's, we're kind of we're rocking and rolling,
And you still, I mean, you are kicking it out the ballpark. I've got to ask you as well, because we were all there in the 90s. Yes. I mean, firstly, do you remember much?
Well, no, not much.
No,
I really don't. I mean, quite often Skin and Keith will be talking to me about things, and mine's like a kind of smudge
Yeah.
a bit of smudge my life. But maybe that's a bit like Keith Richards used to say, if you remember the '60s, you weren't there.
I agree.
Well, maybe it's a bit like the '90s if you turn it upside down. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 90s were like our 60s, weren't
Yeah,
they?
that's what I mean,
it was the last big hurrah in the music industry. And that was the sort of like, it felt like we were at the centre of something huge then.
I totally agree with that. I quite often say that to people. It's like the way that maybe young bands today look back to the 90s, the British guitar movement and great eclectic music from all genres. Like, it's like the way we used to look at the 60s, because it's 30 years ago now. So it's probably a very inspiring place to look back to if you're 18, 19, 20 in a young band and you look at this great movement of guitar-based music. So, but can I remember much of it? Not that much, but lots of like little highlights. If I had my time again, I would, relax a bit and really enjoy it. Ride the wave to the shore, like, I think I got caught up in it all a bit too much.
I think we all do. You know, we were young, and I think, we're young, we're driven, and we're like, what's the next thing? And you forget that actually it's all in the present. It's all in the present, because we don't know that when we're kids.
No, and you can't tell people that. You've got to learn it yourself. You've got to kind of grow up and experience the fact that you've lost precious moments to realise how precious the here and now is.
And that must be beautiful now, coming back and being able to be completely present with your old music as well as the new stuff, and being able to actually feel the energy of the crowd and actually be able to sort of like be on that stage and just be channeling something higher than yourself.
That's very true. I mean, I've been using the term as like being like a conduit recently when I perform. I stopped trying to impress. I stopped trying to sing. I stopped trying to do all them things. It's like a leap of faith where you just allow the songs to come through you. And that's something that I didn't quite understand when I was younger. But it's something that I very much understand now. And because of that, the kind of, the classic songs that we've got, they feel like they're now and present when I'm singing them. I don't think to myself when here's one of the oldies. Yeah. They just all feel fresh as a daisy to me. And I think whether that's a perception of where I'm from and where the source is coming from. So, I mean, it's, it is a very wonderful place to be, having all the experience that we've got and knowing, not to let it slip through, to really appreciate it in the moment and to be able to allow it to happen and not trying to force it to happen, which is, as you said, when you're younger, you're always trying to, see around the curve.
Yeah.
I don't want to see around the curve now. I'm just going to roll around.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like every single one of us on this planet is given a gift from the universe.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is step out of the way and give it back to the world. And it sounds like this is exactly the place you're in.
It's cosmic, and it really is.
It is cosmic.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you so much. That has been one of the best mornings of my entire life. That was just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was lovely energy, wasn't it?
Oh, it was just beautiful. Really that was Cast. Their 7th studio album, Love Is the Call, is out today. Do yourself a favour, download it now. It is one of their best pieces of work to date. The UK headline tour begins on Friday the 1st of March in Glasgow. It goes till Saturday the 16th in Liverpool, and tickets are available via castband.co.uk. Thank you so much again, Keith, John and Skin from Cast. Control Room cheer, come on, let's hear it!